SH MonsterArts Legion from Gamera 2 Attack of a Legion. Is she worth it? We're here to decide that right here and now. And I just gotta start this review off by saying I think she's beautiful. I think she's gorgeous. I think Tamashii knocked it well damn out of the park with this figure. I think this is definitely one of their best offerings. Not to spoil a little bit later, even though the transformation is absolutely infuriating. This thing is awesome, okay? I've had this on my desk for about a month. Well, actually a month now. And this thing is just beautiful. It is fun to look at. It is fun to mess around with and pose, to have the snout open and have, the basically doing its effect beam, to having the pincers open and positioning them. As you'll see, they're not as limited as you may think. The thing's just gorgeous. There's detail all over, pearlescent paint. It makes it look like metallic and shiny. And then there's the black on the tips of the horns. It just looks very, very nice, very professional. I'm a really, really big fan of this on the shelf. Posing it, taking photos of it. I love it, okay? I like how sharp the legs are. They are pointy. The claws or the crown, also pointy. The joint paint, the paint on the joints almost matches the claws. And from the front, you really don't see it because you mainly see that, the middle bit there. So it looks good. The fur that's painted on there does look nice. The paint all around here on the head crest, it just looks metallic. It reminds me of Safubi. And maybe that's why I like it so much. This figure just looks like a really fancily painted, realistic Safubi. One little piece of paint here that I'm not super happy about is the fur on the legs, though. As you can see, it kind of just cuts off. It doesn't really blend. Not that you're going to really see it with the pincers, but when you're looking down here like this, you can kind of see it. Once we get to the back, you shouldn't be surprised. It's fully painted and it looks really good. In fact, one of my favorite parts here is the back of Legion. I just love the way that looks with the fur on the vents. It just is pretty, okay? Now, for the articulation here, she's got a little bit. We've got these points here, the horn and the back plates. That's mainly for the transformation, so I don't want to include those too much here. But for the regular articulation, the head and neck here move around quite a bit. She can look down, she can look up. Needs to look up at a different kaiju, look down at Gamera. The horn obviously splits open. It opens and closes, and you can raise them so it's out of the way. The mandibles here are articulated, although they kind of feel a little fragile, and they definitely can't move as much as you'd think. They can't bend all the way down flat, which I thought they could, but they definitely can't. And the claws here on the mandibles are nice. They close all the way down. Obviously, they have to have that range for the articulation, but they do it in the movie too when she's charging. Another fun fact here is the horn does have a magnet in it, as you can see. It's pretty strong. It's not the most impressive thing, but it's pretty good. The waist moves around pretty limited. Most of it is for the transformation, which is hidden by that red piece there. The crotch piece does have two movable arms. Of course, they don't move too much. And as I said, these arm cannon thruster things are they're a double barbell joint, so they can articulate up and move to the side. So you can actually get these up and making her look like she's in a really big attack position. It helps that the claws also open and close. They're on just thin double ball joints, so it really helps. If you're not fully impressed with the articulation in the arms, the legs here also control the movement, so you kind of have to move them out of the way. Obviously, you don't want to clash pieces like I am here, but the arms and the legs can articulate very nicely. The knees and the ankles are very articulated, although I do have to point out here that these joints are very loose. Legion is extremely heavy on her top half, and I do believe that is just making those joints loose as time goes on. So make sure you have her really stanced up so she can hold all of her weight. That way, hopefully the hips won't go loose and it's just the knees. The legs in the back also have a pretty damn fine range of articulation. They can move around, twist and turn. It's basically like having a hip and then a thigh swivel. And then you've got these cool arm joints here in the middle. The first joint connecting into the long arm doesn't move that much, but these can get flat, so you can pose her with a ton of stands in her upright attack position that she does on camera. The back legs follow the same, although a little less for the middle joints, but those corner pieces articulate more. She also can sit back here and twerk about if you want her to do that with the shell pieces. It's not too much, but it's enough for movement. Comparing her with Gamera, they are obviously in just about perfect scale. Gamera is about eye to eye with Legion. Of course, the crown and the horn stand above Gamera, so it looks very nice. Here she is with two Heisei Godzilla figures with the Godzilla 91 and Mecha King Ghidorah Decisive Battle version. Looking very nice, very tall next to Godzilla. Here she is next to Godzilla 2000 and Shin Godzilla Night Combat 4th Form version, looking very cool. Interesting that Shin towers over her as well. Here she is with Evolved Godzilla from MonsterArts and Shimo from MonsterArts. Shimo's way longer, but Legion's way taller, so you know it is what it is. It looks cool. Here she is with the Shinkoho Seiho Ultraman 66 and the Mecha Gigantron from Ultraman Rising, both from SH Figuarts. Looking very nice. I'm loving the way she scales. And finally, we have Gaia V2 and King of Mons. Looking very, very sweet, epic, and awesome. Onto the accessories. The first one is the base plate here. This is the piece for her to sit on in her regular form. The base is the base piece that we'll use out throughout the whole damn transformation. It happens quite a bit here. So you just set her down right like that, and then you kind of see it's all molded in, so you can kind of get it flattened out there for her. It does add a ton of extra height to her, so if you thought she was a little too small, then you can throw Gamera there and it makes Gamera look even smaller. And the moment you've all been waiting for. The flying form. So, let's get into it. Step 1. Oh. I knew this was going to be annoying. I have to take the fucking arms off. Okay, so present past Tanner is here. This has been a pain in the butt. Just letting you guys know, so I had to skip ahead, but this is where I'm at. Step 10. I somehow have to pull the horn back even more. This is where I'm confused. I can't get this side of the body to do what it's supposed to do. Despite all the issues and the stress, this does look super cool. Okay, we're not gonna sit here and deny that Legion doesn't look super cool here in the flying pose, but I just I couldn't even finish it. You know, the wings aren't in. It looks cool. It takes up so much space. So it's just not something I'm going to be using. And everything is going to go back in the box, and we're going to get her right back to normal. So, for my final thoughts on SH MonsterArts Legion, I am very, very happy with this release. Okay, I've owned it for a month. Typically, reviews don't come out this late, but many circumstances came up in between this and now, so here we are. And I can say after a month, I love it. The price point doesn't hurt. You know, it hurt leading up, saving up for it, but you know, it's been in my hands for a month, and I don't regret this figure at all. It sits on my desk constantly. I play with Gamera a lot more because I have her. She's just wonderful. She's articulated. She's got presence. She's got aura, or whatever, you know, the kids call it nowadays. Like, she just looks good on the shelf, and she is impressive. And that's why I am just so damn happy and fortunate that I was able to afford this, you know, given some sacrifices. So I'm very happy with it. If you guys are looking for one on the aftermarket, very good luck. These are made to order. There's not many left. I think Entertainment Earth might still have them in stock, so check them out if you haven't. Thank you guys for watching the review, and I'll see you guys in the next one.